Hello, I'm live. Exchange because I'm never live. How are we all doing? What we'll do is just wait for people to jump in. We'll see where we'll go from there. Let's get my live tab up. There we go. So now I can see who's in and not. So if you're in, jump in, say hello. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Click Clack. TMG, hello. I'll put the link on in a minute. We'll have a chat first. So how are you all doing? Hope you're all well. The last time I did a live stream, I said, shall I rip my tank apart? And it's happening. I am going to get a new system. I've got it all in my head, but trying to put I'll try to implement it. The thing is, it's not going to be as long. This one's 4 foot. It's going to be a little shorter, but it's going to have more depth and a height. So the width and the height is going to be higher, like more. The sump will be bigger. Water volume total will be a lot more water volume, but it will be a bit shorter. I think total, I can't tell you in gallons because I don't even know gallons. I'll ask Alexa in a minute. But the way the sump's going to be and the system in litres, it's about 425 litres. Let's find out how much is in gallons. Alexa, how many US gallons is 425 litres?
425 litres is 112 gallons.
Be about 120 by the time I've done it, water volume anyway. I got it still going, sign or breakout. Ooh. Ten viewers. Like I say, if you're here, yeah, it'll be about 120. Like I said, this is a Reef for 350, and this works out about 90. So, like I say, it's 30 gallons more water volume is better. It's going to be mitered. It's like it's going to have mitered edges and that. It's going to have a beautiful stand with it. In fact, Nick Chan's building the stand, so it'll be beautiful. The way we've been talking about the stand, hopefully it'll come out nice. It's going to be, like I say, it's going to be the aluminium frame. Yeah, it's going to be custom built. Yeah. Like I said, more things will come along as we're doing it. I was trying to find a sump. Like I said, there's a sump there that's going to come with it. But the thing is, with the sump that comes with it, it takes up all of the underneath. And I want a gap, even if it's just 6 inches. So I want to put like electricals in there. And I used to have a system where the sump was the same size as the tank, and it's so awkward because you can't put anything anywhere. We say aluminium, right? Aluminum. Hello, Phil. SYT. Hello. What reef method you're going to use? Now, this is the thing I was going to do. I'm trying to go skimmerless, so that's what I want to do. People are going, oh, you can't go skimmerless. You can, right? Because at the minute, the way I'm running this, the skimmer's not even working because it's not even taking anything out. The way I want to do it, I want to use the new filter roller for the first point of call. Phil, I'll come back to that. I'll use a filter roller. Then I want to have a massive refugium. And then BRS canisters, for carbon and GFO, the small one. I want to have that built into it So I've got all the things in there without the skimmer. But I'm going to get a skimmer, and it's going to be an expensive skimmer just in case. So I can always, the refugium is going to be big, so I can always push back and put a skimmer in. That's like a point of call, but I'm going to try running it without. Most probably when I first kick it off, I'll have a skimmer. But then I want to take the skimmer out and go skimmerless. Like I say, at the minute this skimmer's on, I turn the skimmer on, it doesn't even skim because there's nothing to skim. And when it does, usually I turn it high and let it do it that way. Seymour. Right. What I'll do now, I'll get the link in. If I can remember how to do it, because I've not done this in so long. I'll do it on my phone. Hello, Ailey. Hello, Gaz. Hello, Seymour. Hello, Phil. Hello, SYT. M5 Steph. Hello. If I've not said hello, sorry. But yeah, like I said, I've actually been talking to Seymour because he's smart. I like him. Uh, as in, oh, Phil, have I spoke to Michael? Yeah, I have spoke to Michael. And for me to talk about Michael's tank, I can't do that. So I think Michael will end up doing a video or coming on telling people about it. But like I say, it's not for me to talk about someone else's system, especially when he's upset as the way he is. So, like I said, people know that he had a break of outbreak and that he's lost his fish. That's all that needs to be said. Like I say, it's nothing. It's nothing to do with me. So if Michael comes on and talks about it, that's up to him. If Michael does a video, that's up to him. But yeah. Let me just get the angles on here. Join using link. It's easier to do it from my phone than it is to do it any other way. Stick TMG in there. Share link. Copy. Then I go to YouTube. You just chat among yourselves while I figure out how to do this because YouTube, I've just been so bored with YouTube. But what I do miss is talking to everyone. And it's a nice thing when everyone's on. But sometimes when I come on, you might have 5 people on, and it's just, I like how people start talking within it. And if it doesn't give me the hump where there's not a lot of people and people are not having a good time in there, there's no point in me doing one. My opinion, anyway. So let me get this here, my channel. And have I seen the Red Sea skimmer? Seymour sent me a link of the Red Sea skimmer. The thing is with Red Sea, they just get cheap products and stick their name on it. So right, there you go. There's a link if anyone wants to jump in. We're talking about velvet. I've had velvet in my other system. I had velvet. My fish just dropped one after the other. I saved a few of them, and I sent them to my mate who had a quarantine tank set up. He always had a quarantine tank. He stuck them in his quarantine tank. I left them there for about 10 weeks. They was fine, and the system I shut it down and got rid of it. I completely shut it down. In fact, I followed it, then shut it down. I thought I was too scared to reuse it, so I shut it down, got rid of it, and then that's when I bought this one. Uh, I've heard that it has a good pump. Yeah, the Red Sea skimmer. Yeah, it's got a good pump. I've heard that. 3 fish. Oh, 1 second. Ooh, I think Michael's coming in. Might be. Let's see if people jump on. Here's Michael. Hello. People are asking Michael. I'm saying it's got nothing to do with me. Do you know what I mean? It's up to, like I said, I don't want to be telling your story because, like I said, I don't.
You don't know my story, so you can't tell
That's
it.
what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. For me to talk about someone else's misery in a way, it's not a nice thing, is it? It's not for me to tell people stuff. It's for you to tell people. That's what. Well, you must have heard me say it.
I did hear you say
It's
it.
for Michael to say it on his thing. It's not for me to say it. Like I said, I feel like, see, in fact, I did text Michael before, didn't I? And asked about Grandad. Because that's the only, do you know what? I use other fish I don't give a crap about, but Grandad I do. Because that's Grandad's Grandad. You know what I mean? But Michael, you can speak.
Well, that's the thing, is it's the same for me, you know what I mean? Like, as everybody knows, fish for me are, in essence, they're just there to do a job. You know, my focus and my thing is coral, but at the same time, I don't want to lose fish. You know what I mean? It's not nice to lose fish. Now, I don't know whether I've just got a little bit overconfident in myself or what, but for the past, I don't know how long, you know, my tank has been bob on, and the tank itself is still bob on. There's nothing wrong with the tank. It's just a, you know, a velvet outbreak. Now, I've always said that my reef updates are cursed, the jinxed, you know what I mean? And I've not done a reef update for a long time because I've always thought they were jinxed or cursed. So I started doing the reef updates again, but with a reef update comes like content, you know what I mean? So I got some new fish, you know, got some new tangs, started adding tangs to the tank. And tangs are just well and truly a jinx to me. And obviously since adding the tank's just blown up. Now, again, I know that my tank's got white spot. I've always known that. Do you know what I mean? But you know, it's been maintained, it's been managed. You know, the fish have been fine. You know what I mean? But obviously, I think just the tangs have just been that catalyst to cause a spark. The only thing that makes me think otherwise is how fast it's happened. You know, in the space of, you know, well, really in the space of a day. I literally, I came home from work. I've got a video on my phone, which is for the reef update. I came home from work. I looked at my tank. 3 yellow tangs, powder blue, would just lay on the floor. The powder blue were dead. 1 yellow tang was dead, and 2 yellow tangs were really, really struggling. Within 10 minutes of seeing them, they were dead. The next day, clowns. Oh, sorry. The Antheus were also dead that day. Clowns next day, and then, you know, obviously, you know, and then I've lost Grandad. And Grandad is the one that sickens me the most, is because I've had him forever, and I had Grandad when he had the Achilles tang, and when the Achilles tang got white spot outbreak, and Grandad didn't even get affected. So that's why this time round I'm thinking it's velvet, because the body of the fish didn't look spotty, it looked peely. It looked like the skin was peeling. You know what I mean? Just looked like it was peeling off. And like I said, the rapid time it happened, it just like it. I went to bed, got up, fish are fine. They're all there, everybody's fine. They've got up in the morning. I get up in the morning before the lights come on to feed my female earmuff wrasse, because my green wrasse, I always forget its name, jade wrasse, I think it is, that bullied it. So it can only come out in the morning when the jade wrasse is asleep. So I get up early to feed the earmuff wrasse. So everybody was swimming around perfectly fine. Granted, the lights were off, so I might not have seen something, you know, at that time. I come home from work and wipe out. You know what I mean?
I had it, Michael. With me, the first thing I seen was the clownfish. Like I said this a few years ago when I had it. It was like the clownfish. It just looked like it was peeling, like you said, like a clear coat over it. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid and you put glue over your hands and you start peeling it off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like when you get PVA. Yeah. You get PVA glue on your fingers. That's exactly what they look like. So it was like I've had a bad outbreak like that since they had the 6 foot tank years ago. You know what I mean? And obviously, this for me, it's heart-wrenching because, like I said, I'm not too bothered about the loss of the fish as in monetary. You know what I mean? It's more the fact that, you know, I've just recently purchased fish, and in that short space of time, they've died. You know what I mean? And it's not nice. In that way, you know, it is. But now, I've just got to be proactive with it now and stop making excuses for myself and stop saying, you know, the fish shop quarantine so I don't have to. Because although the fish shop does quarantine, you know, I'm using multiple fish shops now that Marine 23 no longer exists. So
do you know me? When I always say, when people say, "Oh, add more fish, you need more fish," and I'm like, "Oh no."
I wish to be honest I didn't. I wish to be honest I didn't. I wish I would have just left it as, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, innit? And realistically, I would love to have tanks. I really would, because for that short space of time that I had him, it looked good. You know,
everyone's supposed to have a yellow tang in a tank, right? I don't have one. It's not because I don't like yellow tangs. It's because I've done reefing for knocking on 7 years now, and I've had 3, and none of them have lasted over 6 months. Do you know what I mean? No other fish died, just the yellow tang. They always go out of breath and then die. So I won't keep the yellow tang.
I think the yellow tangs were just like the final kick in the nuts, really, because within a day of them being in the tank, there was kicking off. You know what I mean? They was fighting each other. There was kicking off. Even on my reef update, when I showed them, there was thingy, and I was saying, like, I was pointing out, oh, that one's the dominant one because look, he's kicking off. I think it was, I can't remember now, but yeah, I think those were just the final kick in the nuts that sort of like spiked it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's those that caused like anything. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was those that actually brought something. What I'm saying is those were the factors that sort of like kicked it up a gear and allowed the, you know, site to go, ooh, dinner time, boys. You know what I mean? So again, it's down to me. You know, like I said, going forwards now is I've lost a lot of money as well. Thinking about it, not a lot, not just lives, but money as well. And I'm not willing to do that again. You know what I mean? Never again. So I'm going to
buy the fish that do a job.
I'm gonna, obviously, yeah, buy a fish that's going to do a job. But same again, is no. I want to have fish that maybe
decorative fish
thingy, but I've got to be proactive now. So the tank will be going fallow. The tank can catch the fish. Obviously, I'm not at home, as you can tell. I'm in a hotel room, but the tank will be going fallow. Soon as I catch the fish, they'll be coming out. What happens to them, I don't know. Whether I'll just get rid of them or I'll just put them in a separate system and keep them, I don't know yet. But the tank will be going fallow. I'll be using a course of kick on the tank as well. Once I've gone through the course of kick, then I'll be switching on the UV sterilizer during the fallow period, and that's all I can really do. You know what I mean?
Are you going to follow for velvet, or are you going to follow for white spots?
White spot. I'm going to follow for a longer period of time. I'm going to go 12, 13 weeks.
Well, I think the longest recorded white spot
6 months.
captivity, not 97 days. So that's what I'd do is go 3.5 months and you should be good.
To be honest, I can happily do that. So what I'm going to do is this is what I'm going to do is obviously I'm having a tank built at the moment that's a 4x3x1. Now originally that was supposed to be connected to my 7-footer and using one sump, but I've gone back to the company now and said, listen, you're gonna have to make me a sump. So now it's going to be a standalone system, so I can leave the big tank on its own. I don't have to do anything, and then I can just concentrate on the new tank, you know, setting that up and doing that, and you know, making sure you know, I follow as much of a you know, a quarantine process as possible. I don't know. See, the problem is coral. You know what I mean? Is I can quarantine fish until I'm blue in the face. It's like even with my tank, for example, I could personally quarantine every single fish for every day or whatever, but I know that the tank has white spot. You know what I mean? So, you know, I can't really, you know, I can put a fish through quarantine for a year, but then when it goes into my tank, it can still get it because it's there. So I've got to now sort of like strip back, go fallow. I'm not stripping the tank down because the tank's running too well and it looks too good. So I'm not stripping it.
Just feed loads more.
What?
Just feed the tank loads instead of the fish being there. Instead of the fish, you've got to
I'll go follow for 6 months, mate. It don't bother me.
I say I went fallow, and actually your tank does look good when you go fallow. You know what I mean? You're not getting all the fish shit in there. Like I said, you do feed your corals a lot more reef rods in there. You'd be good.
Phil's just said that he, you know, about his nutrients. So, you know, obviously, I get that because obviously there'll be next to no being produced once the fish come out. So, you know, I'll probably just go back to actual coral feeding, you know, with like aminos and reef bugs and etc. Not just basically just feeding the coral rather than the tank.
You're breaking up there, Michael.
You know,
Oh yeah, you're all right now. If it does not host, it truly live longer than the life cycle. No, that when the egg drops, they're supposed to have so long until they've got to attach to a fish. Like I said, they've done it in their labs, haven't they? And the longest it's ever lasted was 97 days. That's the longest one, and most probably one egg out of every single one they've ever tested. That's the longest it's done in a lab, 97 days. But you've got
the incubation stage.
That's from I think it's from attaching to dropping to doing all that crap. I think it's the full thing. Michael, it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I read it, but it was 97 days. Do you know what I mean? Well, do you know what? I'll dig it out for Michael and I'll send it you. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that happened to Padawan. Padawan went fallow on his system for 12 weeks, I think it was. He went fallow for 12 weeks. He had a white spot outbreak years ago. And, you know, after a 12-week, he went out, got some fish, and all of them again wiped out within 2 weeks after going fallow for 12 weeks.
Joe? Are you sure that the new fish didn't have ick? It could be the new fish. I think 12 weeks is 3 months. That's about close to 100 days.
But you think about it, right? If it's remember, the longest one's 97 days. If he went 3 months, 12 weeks, 90 days, it's still a week short. It could have been that 1 week. It could have been that 1 week.
And I also think I read, I was at somewhere and I read, and they say the cooler, because I think the temperature increases the life cycle. So if you run the tank on the warmer side, you know, it increases the metabolism growth rate and presumably the die-off rate of the parasite. So I think in cooler waters, I mean, you're in a cold country, so maybe it just, you know, you guys keep your tanks on the cool side, so maybe it just lasts longer.
One fish I have been able to catch is tank. I've managed to catch tank, and tank is in the quarantine tank. And when I left this morning, he was swimming around. He seemed all right, so fingers crossed that tank is a tank. So, you know, if he survives this, then, you know.
So let me get this right. You have a fish named Tank in a fish tank now, living in a quarantine tank.
Yeah, because he is a tank. He's literally built like a tank.
What kind of fish is that?
The chromis.
Oh my God.
Here, Michael, I'm reading this here, right? It lasted 2 to 4 weeks in hyposalinity.
Really? This is my concern.
For a week or two.
This is my concern. Because I've been very reliant on fish shops quarantining for me. You know, the process is hyposalinity. The process is copper. So, you know, obviously learning more, because obviously I've just took it for gospel that they're quarantining for me, and I'll just, you know what I mean. So again, it's my fault. I can't blame anybody else other than me because I've allowed, like, my advice to everybody is not allow anybody to do anything for you. Don't just take water from in your tank. That's something that I advise. And then I'm then taking fish from a fish shop based on them saying, yeah, we've quarantined it. It's not, it's one of those where, obviously I advise not to do stuff like that, and then I do it myself. So there's nobody else to blame other than me.
I had a fish store who told me they add copper to everything. Everything is quarantined, and that's before I knew better. And then I went back and I said, "Hey, how come you guys have inverts in it?" And you said you use copper. Turns out they weren't using anything. Plus if they get a fish in, they get a fish on Wednesday. If someone wants to buy that fish on Thursday or Friday, they're gonna sell it. So, I don't think most a lot of fish stores say they do, but I don't think most of them do, man. I think that's just an incredible, resource just to quarantine everything they sell. A lot of them say they do, but I'm sure most fish stores don't do it. You basically need space to quarantine every fish you have, and you're probably going to have a lot of die-offs. It's probably cheaper just to sell it to the customer and then replace customers' dead fish rather than quarantine everything. I don't know.
Well, if I can catch them, what I'm going to do is the secret cupboard is no longer a secret cupboard anymore. It's empty. So the secret cupboard now, I can in essence build a little rack and put some 40 breeders in there, and I can just put them in there, close the door, and they can just be a quarantine room. You know what I mean? Utilize that for whatever. I could just put hang on the back filters on, for example, and I could use it for quarantining coral if I really wanted to. But that is the issue, is quarantining coral, because realistically, every time I buy a coral, it's got to go in quarantine for 3 months. You know what I mean? And it's not really realistic to do that. So I'm always running the gauntlet. We always are. If I'm going to keep buying fish, because like I said, I can quarantine the fish until I'm in the face. I can go fallow in my tank now for 12 weeks. But if I buy any more coral, then they've got to go into quarantine for 12 weeks. So by the time, they're ready to come out of quarantine, 12 weeks later, it's, the hobby will become, it won't be a hobby. You know what I mean?
I've got a nice paper for you to read about White Spot Michael.
Email it over to me then, or text, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll email it you. I was just reading here, right? It's saying the parasite in colder temperature, 12 degrees Celsius, which you're not going to run your tank at 12 degrees Celsius, but it lasted 6 months in colder temperature. As soon as they raised the temperature to 27 degrees, that's when it took its free swimming stage and attached to the fish. Well, so I'm wondering if the warmer because it's just a coral one now, you could raise your temperature. You know what I mean? A little bit, because I like it warmer, corals anyway.
I've definitely heard that. Obviously I've heard that, in the freshwater side and the saltwater side, because obviously raising the temperature speeds up the metabolism of all of the organisms.
In fact, for people, I'll put the link, if it works, in the chat, so other people can have a read of that PDF there. You might be able to click on that, Mike, and have a read of it before you go to sleep.
Oi, Bellin. That's me.
Who's that? That's
hey, Paul.
Yeah, mate.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good. What do you got? A new system coming up?
I have.
What system? A Red Sea?
Oh. No. Who wants to buy a Red Sea? Michael, Red Sea tank.
I'm starting a new tank also. I got a JBJ 45.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good. I'm going to try to get a bit of a link in case that don't work. Right. So bear with me. Right, just see if that one works. Oh, it's definitely a long read, Early. Yeah, it's definitely a long read, but just browsing through that then, it's very, very informative. This is what people need to do, right? And I say this all the time, and I don't even see more on. Has he gone? Might be working. But, people. All right. Picking kids up. I've always told people to go online. These white papers that you see, these white papers are some of the best reads you can have. And the knowledge that you get off them is amazing. But I like reading them. And a lot of the time, I just keep everything to myself because I like knowing stuff. But go online, look for white papers. Like, go to universities and the studies at university. Like that one was from the University of Florida. White papers from there. They're there. They're studying. They're learning. That's what they're there for. Share the white paper. No, I'm not saying I don't share the white paper. I do share the white paper knowledge. I mean, when I read all the stuff, it seems to store up here. But it's not like I don't want to tell people. It's when it comes to something happening, I'm like, I remember this. That's the way. And I think that's what it does with everyone. As soon as you know something, you'll keep it in your head. You'll forget about it. It's locked away in that little man box or lady box. And then.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? People's lady box?
Forget that. Forget I said lady box. No, I'm saying, Mike, when you read stuff, sometimes it gets locked up in your brain, doesn't it? You think, yeah, and you don't talk about it or anything until you see something that's happening in your system. You go, do you know what? I've read something about that, and you start to remember what you've read. That's what happens to me. But I love reading white. You need to do that more, Michael. I love reading them. Go to a university that studies like marine biology and things like that, and just type like something in, and you'll get a white paper. You know, like what they've wrote. They get a lot of stuff from there, really good. Or you get people that have been in the hobby years that write white papers and stick them online. What's that? Posted that link on a forum, and they still insisted other methods work like ginger. Some people just don't want to read facts. True. Do you know, like when it comes to little things like like garlic and ginger and things like that? To me, it's like your grandma when you used to fall over. Oh, rub a bit of ginger on it, it'll make it better. Do you know what I mean? It's things like that. Like, what do they call them? Old wives' tales. Do you know? For me, it's facts. You need facts. It needs to be proven. You know what? Exclusive. Honestly.
What about the bubbling method then?
Thumbs up does not bother me whatsoever. Do you know why? Right, this is why I love the bubbling method. You know, if I put filter floss in, you know, I only put filter floss in my baffle. I can run filter floss in my baffle for a week and not change it. If I stick the bubbles on, the day after that's manky. So that tells me that's working. It's taking crap out of my system. You know, by collecting in the bubbles and raising it up.
Yeah.
So that is proven.
You.
That's that for me. That works. Do you know what I mean? You must know yourself.
On the plus side, though, you know, for every positive, there's a negative. The Walt Disney's still okay, and the polyps are even more extended than they was when I got it.
That's because no fish are pecking them. Ooh. Sorry. Oh, Michael, you know that was just a joke. No, take it.
Yeah.
The thing is,
I can get humor when I can hear it. I can't get it through a text.
Yeah. In fact, what he means there is we're always slating over thinking, what is it? Text message. We all have like do wind ups, and sometimes Michael don't realise that we're winding him up.
I've got no concept of humor or sarcasm through a text message because I can't hear tone.
The thing is, the worst person, he's not on here now, he's at work. The most brutal person on text messages is Woody. He texts something as a funny thing, but even when we read it, we go, ooh. He's brutal. Even with me, he's brutal. Don't forget I'm first on the Disney. People might know that Michael's got he's still got RAS in his system. and his wrasse are most probably doing fine. And I noticed that when I got the velvet, it doesn't even touch wrasse. Wrasse just swim through it. So let's go down this chat. Ginger, second best to Polylab Medic. Now that stuff, I don't think it works at all. I think it's just very, very expensive. And the larger system you've got, the more expensive it's got, the more expensive it is. I don't like it. Well, do you know what? I tried it once. It never worked. I said, oh, this was in the old system. This system, I've not had nothing touch wood. But I don't have stuff from fish shops in my tank or other people. But when I start my new tank up, I will be doing. But I think I'll be dipping everything. And I'm not adding any more fish, so I'm good. Such a waste of 50. In fact, Michael, I think Michael will be the best to say about Polylab Medic because I think he used it once and he was going through jar after jar after jar of it.
Yeah, but that was on my size tank though. So
well, that's what I'm saying. The bigger tank you've got, the more expensive it
is. Yeah, it costs a fortune if you've got a big tank. So, you know, yeah, but if you've got a normal size tank, then see, I question myself sometimes because when I had a smaller tank, obviously I was less experienced, so I don't know. But when I had a smaller tank and I used Polylab Medic, it seemed to work because what I just think it, but I don't know whether it's anecdotal. I don't know whether it's the fact that it just made the water better, which made the fish happier, which made them more, made them stronger to be able to fight it off themselves. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know whether it was just simply, but in essence, it is working if that is the case, because although it might not be attacking the parasite per se, if it's making the water better, which makes the fish better, which makes the fish able to attack, to fight it off, then in essence, the parasite, maybe not to a full extent, but it will die off because it won't be able to feed. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's sort of like anecdotal in a way where, because it is classed as a water conditioner. So it's one of those, you know, I've been looking into the Kikik one to see what the script is with that. And supposedly it disturbs the protozoa or something. So when it's in its free swimming stage, it can't attach. It removes the ability to attach to a host. So then it breaks the chain. No medication out there can. I don't even think copper can either, or maybe, I don't know, can attack the parasite when it's actually on the fish, because the parasite is so encased, you know, in the cyst, it can't really be, you know, reached. It's only really, you know, controllable when it's in its free swim state. So you can stop that cycle. You can stop that, you know, that round and round.
Someone mentioned here about the wrasse. They have a thick slime coat. They do. And wrasse, when they sleep, they produce like when they're hiding in the sand and that, they produce like a slime around the body, which spares. Do you know, like you get electric currents? It's like they produce electric currents, fish, like when they swim and all that. Like every living thing has an electric current. They produce like a slime around to stop this electric current, you know, like pulsating, so they don't get eaten when they're hiding.
It also hides the smell of them. Like I've got a koi parrotfish, not koi, yeah, koi. I've got a koi parrotfish, and he does it every night. You know, blows a bubble.
See that? I wonder if that is when they actually produce that over the body, if that's what pushes the velvet off them. Do you know what I mean? Could be. Michael's gone quiet. Can Van do Michael? Is Michael in Wales? Where are you? So we'll find out in a minute when it comes back on. Hey, it didn't work. Jeeves, you're actually on the thing. You need to click the ring key. Jeeves, if you're on Facebook, just send me a message. Yeah, you are. Just send me a message on Facebook, Paul Williams, and I'll send you the link on the thing. It'll be easy. Go. That is what the parasite keeps parasites off it. My cleaner ass flicks it off in the morning, seen it floating around the tank. There you go. Yeah. It's got to be that stops them getting it. But to get velvet and within like 24 hours, the fish are suffering and blowing out of their ass. It's horrible to see. Like my fish, like I said, I seen I'm a clownfish, and I knew straight away. But by the time you've tried to get all the fish out of your tank, it's affected them all, and they're all within 24 hours they're dying. Not nice. Aussie. Do you know what? Aussie's back. Aussie has not been on in ages. Hello, how are you doing, Mr. Osborne? These things, everyone at some stage, unfortunately. See, the thing is, right, you could say that, but in a way, when I set this tank up, I got the fish that I wanted. All the fish was quarantined and then went in this system. And that's why I won't add another fish to it. So I know that one fish could contain anything. It could contain white spot, velvet, brook. It can contain anything. And that's what scares the crap out of me. My missus keeps saying that I need to add more fish to my tank. And it scares me to say, do you know what? Yeah, I will. I won't do it. I can't do it. When I set the other tank up, most probably will add another fish. But until then, no.
Right, I'm just gonna nip out. I'm starving.
Michael's getting a kebab. I want to know if you're in Wales. Are you in Wales?
I am. I'm in Wales.
So he's in a foreign country.
I'm in Cardiff. You know, to be honest, I've just been watching the telly. Didn't have a clue what anyone was saying. It's a different language. Completely. You can catch a few words like whatever. They say whatever the same in both languages. But yeah, I'm down in Cardiff. On the way over to Aquarium Supplies in Swansea in the morning, and then I'm coming back up, and then I'm coming back to Cardiff. I'm going up to a place called Reef Store, I think it's called, Live Rock UK, and then where else am I going? Reef World, I think it's called, in Cardiff, and then another one, Rocks and Critters or something.
This is where you throw your little thing in. Why are you going around there, Michael?
Michael, who won that skate off last week?
No, you didn't. Really?
Yeah, right.
Did you
here,
really?
Right here, I won it.
I seen it. You know what? If you wouldn't have had all that sand built up at the back, you might have been all right.
Well, the thing is the reason why I did it the way I did it is when I was explaining it. Obviously, the whole point of the scape off, it weren't so much me versus Danny in essence. That was just more of a.
But it was. No, it wasn't.
It's just not like a jest type thing. What it was to show people the different ways of scaping. Now, obviously, Danny did like quite a traditional scape, 2 towers, and I did a traditional scape at the beginning, but I took it down to do something different to sort of like show that. Basically it's because somebody in the audience said, do a marine scape. And I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. What is a marine scape? And that's sort of like what made me think that people think that there is a certain type of look or a certain type of scape that has to be created for a marine tank. It has to be like this. But the way we are nowadays with biomedias, with skimmers, with everything else, with refusions, sumps, canister filters, whatever, can be the sole and utter filtration, and rocks and everything else doesn't need to be. It's solely, you can make a display. You can do whatever you want nowadays. If you want to do a super minimal scape, like, that's just going to house a couple of really high-end acro pieces, which is what that scape was. It was created for, just select pieces.
You do go out and buy biomedia, Max Spec blocks are pretty damn good. I've got them in my tank. Sorry, Michael. Sort us out later.
Yeah, so again, it's all down to personal preference. So obviously, I could have scaped something to win, you know what I mean? But that wasn't the point. The point was to give different outlooks on how to do things. So I think it got across once it was all done. You know, I had people coming over to saying, "Can you really use something like this?" I was like, "Yeah, of course you can." So then he explained the layout and how it was, and you know where certain corals would go, and how like you could have a zoa garden here, etc., etc. And it's like, oh, what? No way. Because, you know, obviously, like I said, these people think that there is a certain way and a certain style that you have to scape a marine tank, but you don't. You can do whatever.
Personal preference.
Exactly. That's it. It's whatever you think is beautiful.
If anyone ever tells you your scape shit, all you need to say is, "Well, I like it."
And I did. That's why I made it. You know what I mean?
Even though I thought it was shit. No, like I say, it was just too much sand. I think a lot of people commented that there was too much sand at the back. I think that's what put a lot of people off it. You know, like the way it went up at the back, the sand.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was all right. In fact, they looked bloody the same, except you had more sand at the back.
That's what I mean. So, but yeah, that was the point of it. Anyway, I'm starving. I need to go and get something to eat.
What's the Welsh cuisine? Any Welsh people in? Where's Dr. Welsh?
Welsh rarebit.
What's that?
Cheese on toast.
Hey, cheese and toast with beans. Whoop whoop. Can't go wrong. A lot of 4 low-level blocks for the sump. Do you know what? The reason I keep telling people to get the blocks instead of the balls, because I think the blocks, the max spec blocks, they're nice and thin, right? And I think, what does it work out, Michael? The balls and the blocks. If you buy a box of blocks, you get 2 blocks, and what does that cover? Square feet wise, or yards, or whatever you do. Michael's not been a good salesman here.
You know he can't do 2 things at once.
No, he's male.
You know what? I can't even see the screen, and I know that's Jeeves. Right. Okay.
Right, the bio blocks and the bio balls.
Yeah. Right.
What's the square feet of each? I know you get different size bags. It's just like the 2 blocks. What does that cover?
2 blocks goes 1,008 square meters or feet. One of the 2. Can't remember.
Right, and the same price in balls does.
So if you buy 1 pack of blocks, which is 2 blocks, that'll do 2,750 liters. If you get 1 kilo of blocks, so the smallest box of spheres, that covers the same.
Right. So, and I think the blocks are more tidy of me. Do you know what I mean? Because the blocks get crap in them. You can get them in your water, give them a shake, they're clean. The balls, you got to pick like balls, loads of balls. Do you know what I mean? I think the place are miles better.
Well, you've got you get a little mesh bag with them as well, so you can just put them in a mesh bag wherever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get a ball bag. It's personal preference because, you know, the blocks might not fit sump or whatever for whatever reason, or you might have a canister filter, you know, and the spheres will, you know, fit better with a canister or, you know, a restricted sump or whatever. You know what I mean? It's again, they both basically do. It's just a different shape. You know what I mean? 1 kilo of biospheres is equal to 2 blocks. So it's really his personal preference.
You got Cam Van Du here. Tell Michael you can call him for a brew when he is by Live Rock. By Live Rock up. And
Korean chips is the
national thing.
I'm going to go and get it because I've just looked on Google and there's a chippy around here. Right. Well, if you're still on, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I don't know how close it is.
Haley said the balls come with a bag. Yeah.
Oh, did you know that I've actually met Haley in real life now?
Is she really a man with a beard who drives a truck?
Yep. So, everybody, I've met Haley in real life and I've seen her in the flesh, and none of else. Well, some of you might have done, but
she looks like Opie off the Sons of Anarchy.
I've never watched that.
People know who they are.
Right, I'm just going to go and get some food. I'll be back in a bit.
Bye-bye. Hello, Seymour. Hello, Jeeves.
Hello, mate.
Go. I'm really
What's
blonde.
up, fellas?
Female. How you doing?
Galgo said he's ginger.
No, I said he's blonde and he's a female.
Oh.
See, this is the thing. Everyone assumes someone's a boy and someone's a girl. Galgo's never said he's a boy or a girl. People just assume he's a boy.
Wait, Galgo said.
No, Galgo is a boy. Galgo is a boy. I've spoken to him.
Oh.
DC's in. Hello, DC.
What? DC Reef?
Really? Laugh my ass off. F you.
Oh wow.
She's
Sounds
obviously
like
seen Sons of Anarchy.
Haley taught me all the British curse words.
M5 Steph. M5 Steph. I'm going to say Steph is a girl's name, but it could be Stefan. So I'm going to say you're a lad. M5 Steph, you could be a boy.
Stephanie.
Could be Steph, but it could be Stefan.
It could be Steven.
Yeah, that's Phreeve.
Oh, it's Stefania.
Oh, spoiling it now. Sorry, Galgo's. Galgo's really a girl.
What? How did you know?
I'll jump on later when I leave work. Yeah, no worries, DC. That's if we're still on, but I guess we're bored now on YouTube. See, Stefan, I was right.
How's the tank going, mate?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just awesome, mate.
How's the tank going, Jeeves?
Yeah.
I heard Exclusive is here. Did he tell you guys about his tank?
He's on now. He's still on. He's on the hangout.
What's up, Exclusive? Or maybe he's at work.
Hey, what's up, all?
Yeah, what's up, man?
None. You see the new tank?
I saw it. How's it going, man?
It's good. I just got the rock today. I had gotten rock from this guy on Manhattan Reef, and when I got it, I don't know, something was wrong with that rock. After I bleached it and washed it out, I started scaping it, and the rock just started falling apart in my hands. Like I could easily break the rock in half.
Yeah, that's
So
how long
I chucked
did you
it.
bleach it for?
Not too long, like maybe like 2-3 days.
Oh, that's Exclusive. That's man. You know, I don't know. It could be that something was wrong with his rock, but depending on how much bleach you use, like remember, bleach erodes the rock.
Well, he had it in water before that. Anyway, but I think something was wrong with the rock because when I checked on the bottom of it, it looked like a bunch of skeletons of like worms.
Okay.
But anyway, whatever. So I chucked the rock. I didn't like it, and I got this rock, started scaping it, got everything ready. The problem is I have to make in-tank media baskets because the ones that they sell are not high enough for this tank.
So you have to get a custom one, or
No, I'm building it. So I got the acrylic, and I just need time. I'm actually changing jobs right now. I'm working from home, and I got a new job, and I'll be working from home as well. So actually, next week is my last day at work, and then I'll have some free time to start up the tank. Yeah. So
you're building a media basket with acrylic.
yeah, right, correct.
All right.
So I got the acrylic. I got everything that I need. I just need the time to do it.
All right.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
everything is going good. You know, getting there.
What lights are you running? I forgot what lights you're running. The
I got the
126s, right?
yeah Hydra 26 HD. Yeah, right.
All right.
And then I got those two MP10s on the sides. And, you know, everything else really doesn't matter. I mean, that's the main thing. The skimmer, you see that skimmer? I got the Cat Light skimmer. It sticks out a little bit, you know, about like 6 inches, but it's dead silent.
It sticks out at the top, 6 inches.
Yeah. So it looks like a skimmer. You could see it from the top there. Yeah, let me show you, get a better close look.
That's not, you know what? That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's, you know, so that's what it looks like. And I'm all about performance. I don't care about the look, whatever, but it's not too bad. I could deal with that. Now, the other thing I did was I contacted Santa Monica, and they hooked me up lovely with the Santa Monica 1.2 drop for $99. Yeah,
What's the retail on that?
like a little over 200, I believe, something like that. 180 around there.
All right, man, that looks good. So algae scrubber, skimmer, and no sand bed, right? You're just going with rock?
No, I have sandbag, but it's live, and I don't want to put it in there right now because I don't have the water. I'm not ready to go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So
but
when do you expect this to be up and running? A month, two?
oh no, man, couple of days.
Oh, so you're probably mixing salt water now then, or starting to make it.
No, not yet. I just finished the rock work today, so maybe tomorrow I'm gonna start the water. But I'm really I need maybe till like Thursday or something, or maybe like this weekend, so I could go ahead and create those baffles. But I could always add those afterwards, so that's not a problem.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up and see. I haven't tested. I haven't tested to see if there's any leaks, but I'm
Oh,
gonna hope
do
that there
that
isn't.
with fresh water and just drain the fresh water out.
Or
If it's leaks, you don't have salt water everywhere.
you could make the RO water and just pour it in it and just run it with RO water, see how everything runs. And then you add salt to it and you make salt water right in the tank.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Nah,
Why
I'd
not?
rather put the sand. I'd rather put the sand first and then put the water. But
I wouldn't. I wouldn't mix salt into the tank and do it that way.
Why not?
That's not a good idea because you get salt getting trapped into the rock and all that, and then you're adding more salt because you don't think there's enough in it. Then that salt starts leaching out and raising your salinity. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know I'm right, don't you?
No,
He hates it when I'm right. Come on, Seymour,
no,
say it.
no.
Yeah, no.
That's all right.
I'll be back. Let me just finish off a couple of things I'm working on.
All right.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Yeah, I think I don't mind mixing it in a tank. I wouldn't mind. It's just that I know it's gonna take longer, but it would just for me it would just be easier.
Hmm.
But he has live sand, so he doesn't want to kill the live sand.
See, I don't know whether to go when I swap tanks over new rock and just take frags of everything I've got and sell the other stuff, or use what I've got and just get rid of some of the rock and add new rock. I don't know.
Well, from what WWC and BRS are saying, they want old rock. The older, the better. So
Yeah, but I mean, you can use part live rock, part dry rock, and it'll seed it the same.
yeah,
You'll get the pests and all that you get out of the live rock.
You said pests.
Well,
Not even good bacteria.
well, I don't mean pests. The
Bristle
hitchhikers,
worms and
good hitchhikers.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
messing with
bristle
you, G's. I know what
worms
you
and
meant.
pods and yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I know
with
what
this
you meant.
with this build, I'm taking it really slow. I'm not in a hurry. With this one, I'm actually gonna do the long cycle with the shrimp in the tank. Wait it out for about a month or so, and then add some fish. I'm really selective on what I can put in here because at this point, the tank is so small. Anybody listening, I would rather go with a sump than with one of these hang in the back because I got so much stuff right now in the back. I cannot fit my fingers, anything, nothing else in there. It's jam packed.
Talking about the all-in-one.
Yeah, the all-in-one inside the back.
That's the Red
Yeah.
Sea, isn't it?
No, this is the JBJ.
JBJ.
Does it have the connector so you can add a sum to it?
It does not. No.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
with that, it's
some guys-
I was gonna say the easy thing about that though is you can drill the back of it and use the existing overflows. So then you've got your mechanical filtration up top, and you can have your sump on the bottom simply for your skimmer and refugium.
Yeah, Jeeves, I ain't messing with that. This is what it is. I had to convince the wife that this was an all-in-one in order to get it, and that there was nothing going on the bottom of this apartment where I'm at. But I want to test the waters with this one, and then hopefully kind of upgrade if everything goes well here. But right now,
back.
yeah, but I don't know yet, Seymour. Maybe when I buy a house.
I gotcha. Because I'm sticking to my. I'm sticking to the 3 for 350 until I get. Yeah, it does. I don't see the logic in breaking the tank down and going bigger, and then a couple years from now you have to break it down.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep this for now. It's mostly gonna be LPS. Again, I'm going. Huh?
Hey, exclusive. If you ever get a chance to visit Manhattan Aquariums, I think they got a Reefer 250, which is a little bit bigger than your tank, just slightly, and they're running like a nice mixed tank on it. So, if you ever get a chance to check that out, I mean, it's jam packed with a lot of corals, but it's just a really nice, like easy to take care of mixed tank. Like they have some SPS, but nothing crazy. It's mostly Montes.
All right. Seymour, do they have like designer clownfish there?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
I
All
just
right.
bought two. I forgot what it's called, Midnight Lightning or some white. I actually in the last couple of weeks I bought 4 clownfish there. I bought like an orange clownfish with no bars on it, solid orange, and then I bought some
Naked
white
clown.
clownfish. Yeah, and then I
I'm
bought
looking.
like a white with just a little bit of black. So they have designer clownfish there.
I'm looking for a Picasso, and I'm looking for a the black ice.
So I mean, for one, things like that, I think you call them and have them get it for you. They'll hold it for you, or get it from Live Aquaria, because I think chances of you walking in and they just happen to have that is kind of low.
Okay, I'll stop by though next week when I have some time. I'm gonna stop by one of these days and take a look.
All right. Yeah. Geez, how the tank going, man?
I just got my lock line and installed it. That's where I was. I had to go back to the store. The girl there gave me a 1/2-inch pipe thread to lock line and 3/8 pipe thread to lock line. So she grabbed the wrong size adapter. So I had to go back and get it. But so now I've got my 2 lock lines installed with the little fan nozzles. And I may run RFGs eventually, but I just got my Maggie muffler drilled and tuned. Had to drill the hole out a little bit and put a tube in it. So it's going good. Everything's growing.
I saw the picture.
Just trying to get my flow
Dialed in.
yeah, to where I like it. I mean, I'm playing between wave and the what do they call it? Tidal swell mode on that MP10 I've got. And then I've got the QP5 on the other side on pulse mode.
You don't like the tidal swell, not the other one, the other yellow colored one. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, they've got Reef Crest.
Reef Crest.
Well, so the tidal swell mode is the light purple. It does Reef Crest. It does everything, but it'll be really chaotic sometimes during the day, and then sometimes it'll be more calm. Whereas the Reef Crest is always chaotic.
Yeah.
And so what that does when it goes, I've sat here and watched it, when it gets into the calm mode, well, then the other wave maker on pulse blasts further across the tank, so it kind of shimmies the flow back and forth.
Right. That sounds like a plan.
Just saying it's risky. It's starting up and buying live rock without seeing it. How do you mean that? See live rock, but you're not going to know what's inside of it, are you? No one ever knows what's inside live rock. I started my first system up with live rock, and that live rock's been passed from tank to tank to tank. Some of this rock in here I've had for 7 years. You know,
I think I've seen live rocket from like Tampa Bay Saltwater. That thing is awesome. I mean, chances are you might get a pest or two, but versus live rock buying it from the shop, it's live with bacteria, but in terms of diversity. I think it's pretty low. But if I had a chance, man, I would. If the funds wasn't an issue, I would buy the Tampa Bay Saltwater live rock. That's rock that they man-made rock that they put in the ocean for like a year, and it has all different coralline, all different stuff going on. It sometimes corals, sometimes feather dusters, and then they go collect it and sell it to you. So if funds wasn't an option, I would go get some Tampa Bay saltwater rock and then kind of cure it for a while to see what comes out. But that stuff is awesome.
So,
The Soothers tank is looking good, man. I like that.
oh, I got my new skimmer.
What is it, the K2?
No. That's the one I was looking at. I was between that and the SCA 301. Remember, we had talked about running chamber 1 or chamber 2, but Mage gave me her SCA, which is overrated for this tank, but free is free.
SCA 301?
A 302 is what she gave me.
302. All right, hold on. Let me look that
It's
up.
rated for up to 180 gallons.
And what do you have, a 40 breeder?
With a sump, yeah. It's about 50 to 60 gallons, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Listen, man, you just run that sucker and maybe get a timer and just maybe not run it all day. But
I'm just running it super dry skim.
yeah. If you ever have an issue with it creating a stable foam head, just don't run it all day, but you should be all right. Now you can heavily stock the heck out of that bad boy.
Mm-hmm. And I got me a bicolor blended this morning.
Whoop, whoop.
See? I've had live rock with Aptasia, bubble algae, etc. Why not just seed dry rock? You can do that. But like I said, people like the diversity in live rock. Like me, I love bristleworms. People can't stand bristleworms, but for me, at night time, I turn my tank on, it's covered in bristleworms. The daytime, you never see one of them. But I know that they're eating all the crap in the tank. So I like bristleworms. When, like I say, you get feather dusters all over the tank, all over my rocks. Do you know what? I'll take a picture on my phone now in the dark. Let's just show you some of these feather dusters out there.
Yeah, I have bristleworms all over the place. And
I hate those things. I hate any kind of worms.
Oh, I like them. They're good.
don't touch them though. I've made the mistake of like touching them with my hands.
Yeah, I grabbed one the other day. It's like grabbing rough fiberglass.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And the thing, suckers was hard because I was grabbing Shado like it wasn't like and this thing's got in my hand and it can be annoying. It doesn't.
You want to know where I got mine from? I pulled a hammer off of a frag plug I had. He was under the base of that hammer, in between where there's a little gap in the super glue. So I didn't see it. You know, I pried it loose. I grabbed it to go glue it down, and when I grabbed it, I put my thumb on that bottom, and that's what I felt it. And I looked, and sure enough, there was a little bristleworm under there.
There you go. Look at that. That's live rock. Look, when you get your feather dusters like that at night time, and you see all that, that just looks great.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I got mostly dry rock, or like we did it with my brothers. He seeded his, but now he's redone it to where he's got all the life rock, the artificial purple stuff.
Yeah.
And then bought, you know, a couple of 2 or 3 pound pieces of good live rock out of an established tank and put them in there to get all that.
Let's see if I can take a picture of this one. The lights are out, so it should be. Should be some somewhere. The lights have just gone out, so they might not even come on yet. Nah, I'll do it in a bit. In fact, I'll put some charge and get the flash. Just the bristles, I'll get a good flash on them.
What I do is when they get bigger than a few inches, I start pulling them. I'll weed the big ones out, but I leave the little ones in.
Never really seen. That's it. I've never really seen big ones. But I did empty a tank out a while back. And Jesus Christ! I lifted a rock up, and it must have been 8 inches long and thick.
Monster, huh?
Hello, Rico. Patrick, hello? Yeah. What's this here? I'd love to do TBS or KP Live Rock next build. What's that? What's TBS? I don't know what that is.
Tampa Bay Saltwater.
Ah,
That Live Rock O was just talking about.
I got you. How's the tank coming along, Rico? Massive tank. Tampa Bay, so yeah. See, when he was talking, I was trying to take pictures, so I never heard it. Like I'm male, can only do one thing at once. I can't listen and take a photograph. It just doesn't work. Yeah. I bet it's not. See me, I'm just going to change my tank to virtually similar size, just better looking. And I'm stressing through that. I'm not building it. It's already built. Do you know what I mean? Well, let me go through these chats because I don't want people thinking I'm ignoring them. So we've got M5 Steph. I know what you're saying, but pests can be difficult to get rid of. Prevention is better, in my opinion. Things can be easily added, but hard to remove, which is true. It is true. In fact, here, Rico, are you using any live rock? Or are you just going to go fully dry rock in your system? It's like me. It's like me. I want to use the same corals I've got. So that's why I was wondering, do I take frags of them, start from frags again? Or do I cut them down, keep the bases of them, and let the bases all grow out again?
Yeah, so your situation's a little different because you're using a controlled source of live rock. You're using what's already in your tank.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going to do a completely different scape, I'd say use the same rock. You know, like if you were going to go with all shelf rock, you know, or do islands or something. But I'd try to reuse as much as you can.
I don't really like islands. Do you know what I mean? I like it where it's like a one big reef system.
Right, central rock.
With gaps, you know, all the way through it. I like that. But I've done that here, and you run out of space quick. Do you know what I mean? So that's where you get a coral that starts basing over. There's nowhere to put other corals, so you're limited to what you can do.
Right.
And especially when you get like Velida, and it just bases out so quick, it just overtakes all the corals. Even though you put them 6-7 inches away, it's just growing over all of them. I've got SPS growing on the back of my tank, on the glass at the back, where it's just touched and it started growing up the glass. So.
See, I like Greg that gets on O Stream sometimes, and he pops in here, but like he'll get on the tech talk and talk a lot. That new tank he's setting up, it's got all its big shelves.
Who was doing it?
Greg, jumped off. I can't remember his last name.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about? The one new one he's setting up is like that, where it's like a huge piece of shelf rock, you know, and then another piece of shelf rock that's smaller, and they're staggered a little bit. And that's the same way my LFS just did his big 1,200 gallon he set up.
Yeah, I was speaking to Woody, and Woody was saying, is it the Conga branch? You know, like the branching stuff. Put like branching stuff over, so you can put like corals on the branching stuff, and you know, do it that way.
Yep.
I think it'd be nice to get a branching piece, stick a zoa at the top, and let the zoas grow down it.
That's what I wanted to do, except it's so hard to find it here now.
It's like Michael got a load of it sent to him.
Yeah, he got the life rock stuff though, the artificial.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some of the real Tonga branch, and I can't find it.
Michael's got a big chunk of it off me. I sold him Blasto, like gold Blastos, and it was like encrusted onto that. So I just give him the full thing, and that's a proper piece. And look, I've got a pop like that. See the Monty? Oh,
Yeah.
it's actually on a piece here. See it? So the bit that was sticking up, I stuck like a half-inch frag of Monty on there, and that's what's created that big one on top. Look, on the branching bit.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's good. Like the end of the branch, just stick a Monty and let it base out, so it's just got its own little base at the bottom.
That's how I've got mine growing. Mine's getting big.
It gets big, and then it just turns to an umbrella in your tank, which is not a good thing because you can't put anything underneath it because it's just an umbrella.
I've got it kind of off the back of the rock work where it'll grow. As it grows, it won't shade anything that I'm looking at.
Yeah. I've got one massive rock, low on one side, high on the other end of the tank. It's like the thing is, it's going to be smaller in width. You know, the length's going to be smaller. Like the width's going to be more, it's going to be higher. So at the minute, it's just my rock just goes halfway up the tank. So hopefully I can make it higher on one side, like lower on the other, so I can have like a range of acros going across. So I do want it more SPF. Well, I've got to keep my frog spawn because my clowns host it and I'm keeping my clownfish. So I've got to keep my clowns, even though the bastards. I can't put my hand in the tank without them biting me, and they cut me every time I put my hand in. I bleed every time I do it.
They're good for that.
Oh, 100%. So P-Babe's got a 4-foot tank that's empty. Is she going to do a reef tank? Ooh.
No.
Now it's getting sold. Everyone loves clowns. I think everyone's got to have clownfish in the tank. It's the
rules.
It's the rules. It's the rules. See, the thing is, Michael, that's the rules, and a yellow tank's the rules. Do you know what I mean?
To a level of tank, yeah. If you've got a big enough tank to house them, then yeah, it's a lot.
It's the rules. But I've always said, if you're going to get a tank, the only tank that you should ever get, if you've got a small enough tank, let's say if you've got a massive tank, things are different. It's different. You know what I mean? The bigger you get, except, do you know what I mean? It's a weird. I'm saying that while Michael's here, but it is. It's, you know what I mean? The bigger your tank, the smaller your tank, it's more potent, so it gets them quicker. Velvet gets them quicker.
The bigger your tank, the harder you fall.
Yeah, you could say that. But I forgot where I was now. What was I saying? Oh, for God's sake, I forgot what I was saying. Someone remind me.
Smaller tank, bigger tank, ick.
Yeah, but what was I saying before that? Oh, fish. I was saying, like, fish-wise, is a cold tank. Everyone's got to have a cold tank. If you don't want algae or algae, whichever you call it, in your tank, you've got to get a cold tank. Because they never, ever stop munching your rock work. They keep it clean.
Any of the bristle-tooth tangs are good for it.
Yeah. It's just like I said, I've had other bristle-tooth tangs, but the cold tank is the best one for doing it.
You had the yellow eye or the blue eye?
Blue eye.
Yellow.
How big do they grow?
Do you know what? Cold tanks don't grow that big. They're actually a smaller tank.
They grow like 6 inches. They're a little smaller, 5 to 6 inches max. I think you can keep them in a 60-gallon is what's recommended. Is that right?
Yeah. Like I say, they're a slow grower and all. They're not a fast-growing tank.
No, no tanks for me then.
As I was looking at actually in this 40 breeder doing one because my LFS has a flame fin Tamini tang, which I had a big one in my predator tank, and he's only like, I don't know, 1.5 inches long. He's smaller than my clownfish.
See, that's going to be in there for 20 years. How old's mine now? Mine's 4. I've had it 4 years, and it's not grown much. Like I said, it munches all day long on the rocks, and then I put some seaweed in at night for it to munch on some seaweed, and as soon as it's gone, it starts munching again. Peter Parry's mentioned me in a comment, Michael.
Peter Parry.
Yeah, let's find out where. It's on your group. I bet he wants to swap out some of this, doesn't he?
just been mentioned by royalty.
If people don't know, Peter Parry in this over here is the god of SPS.
Peter Parry is Jason Fox of the UK, in my opinion.
Oh no, I share your opinion.
Oh, I got that shallow water, that deep water acro the other day. You know that red what's it called? Red Dragon Pac-Man. You know that one? I got that the other day.
Cool. Right, I've got to find this where he's mentioned me in the thing now. It's just popped up, but I can't see where it is. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, are we having a swap then?
What, you swapping it back?
No, that.
You guys, have you seen the 2-spot bristle tooth tang?
2-spot bristle tooth.
Yeah.
Might have another name. The thing is, when you say that, if it's got another name,
Maybe, I don't know. It's a tang. It's kind of reddish and it has a blue eye around like a circle.
That'll be a blue-eye coal tang.
most probably. What do you call it? 2-spot tang?
Yeah, 2-spot bristle tooth tang. It's in Live Aquaria. I was thinking about picking this up, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to put this in my tank or not.
Yeah, it's a blue-eye coal tang.
Is what?
That's a blue-eye. That's the fish I've got. That's a coal tang.
Okay.
That's the one we're talking about.
Okay. And you said they don't get that big?
No.
Okay. Because over here it says that they get up to about 8 inches.
Let's have a look. I've never seen an 8-inch one. On somebody else. You know what? Michael's is so rude. Right. Small 1-inch, small medium 2, extra large 6 to 7 inches. So that only says it gets to 7 inches. Maximum 8 inches. Do you know when you say an 8 inches, that's most probably the maximum recorded size of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're normally in captivity. You're probably at best 4 or 5 inches.
So you think he'd be safe in a 45?
I don't know what a 45 is.
45 gallon?
Still don't know what it is. We don't do tanks like that. We just do them by size.
Well, you do like 2 foot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah, for a while. If you get a smaller one, you'll be all right.
I need to know what size frag he wants now.
Right, just wanted to pop back in and say hello, but I'm gonna go and watch. I'm gonna go watch Black Lightning. I'm gonna eat my Burger King. I'm gonna watch Black Lightning and go in bed.
Not a problem.
Right, see you in a bit, everybody.
See you later, Michael. Right, sorry, people. Right, I'll tell you what he wants to swap me. It's yellow tart. So if anyone knows what yellow tart is, that's what he wants to swap me. Size frag. Asking what size frag we're swapping. Right, so hello, people, I'm back. So yeah, Michael's gone. Bye, Michael. Night, Michael. Sweet dreams. For what? A yellow tart. In fact, let me see if I can get the picture for you.
Let's see.
So I want to swap him some of.
I'll tell you what, Paul, one thing I did get from my aquarium since I've added this sump, I got the filter media cup. Instead of using the filter socks.
Yeah. It comes standard now.
Talk about
It comes standard now with Red Sea.
Difference. Huh?
It comes standard with Red Sea now.
Yeah. Well, I bought the Red Sea one just because that's what my LFS has. But I mean, it works awesome. So much easier than having to deal with the filter sock every couple of days.
I'm trying to do two things at once, so I'm not being rude.
No, that's fine.
All right, there we go. I'm trying to show you this coral. See, I want some of that.
What is that?
That's a yellow tart, but it just looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah. You want some of my Red Sea? You want some of my Red Sea Aqua for that? But I just love that. I just think it looks really nice.
The next one I want is the Forest Fire Digitata.
I've just sold some of that.
That's the one with the bright red polyps and the green tips.
Yeah, is that one? You also, you want the bubble gum and all.
Yeah, I want to try the Forest Fire first, and then I'll try the bubble gum if I can keep that one alive. Because I've got the regular green Digitata right now. That slime ball green Digitata.
The Digitatas I've got in here, I've got bubblegum Digitata, I've got Forest Fire, I've got orange, I've got red, green, purple, and blue. Ooh.
I like the blue too.
Yeah. So that's all the digits I've got. The thing is, it grows that much. I've not even got much of it left because I just snap it off and sell it. Or when people come, I just break a piece off and give it them, which is not a good thing when you're running out of it. Let's just see what size frag he wants to swap. He's asking. Oh, come on. The darters here.
So I think I told you this. I know I told O and them. I took this sump that I had. This is the one I had on my 75, and I added the crash chamber. You know, where the tube goes down into, and then it comes up and over and has to go through the filter sock.
Right, so it goes what?
Huh?
Say that again.
All right. So you know how some of the sumps, your return or your drain tube goes down into a little chamber that overflows and goes across the plate and through the filter socks?
Yeah.
I built one and installed it on this sump I have. The sump I have didn't have that. You just had to buy the little hang on the side with the screws filter sock holder.
Yeah.
So I built a crash chamber for it and that overflow pan. And
yeah. See, I like that low chamber. I was going to keep it when I built this sump. Well, not built this sump. When I ripped it all out and redesigned it, I was going to keep that little section. But at the last minute, I thought, nah, cut it out.
I like it. It makes it so much easier than having that hang-on filter sock holder.
Oh, it does. It is a good little thing. One of the good little things Red Sea do.
Ooh, it's about the storm.
I like the new sumps. I like the new sumps now. You know, I like the way that they've done them all now. They actually look better. Which, in a way, people that bought their Red Seas 12 months ago got the old design. I know that things change. It's like when you buy a car and then a new registration comes out 12 months later, a new model comes out, it pees you off a little bit, doesn't it? You know, when they do.
Yeah, but you know when they're going to have a model change and say, oh, well, I might want to wait and see what the new one looks like.
Yeah.
You know, give me 1 second, Paul. Let me go get the dog. It's about to storm. She's freaking out.
No worries. I can't believe I've just checked Kraken and they're updated. Into AAC, but they're with SPS corals. Kraken doesn't seem to update their website. Mail out of corals. I love orange Satosa. Patrick, this is where you go. Orange Satosa, people call it red or orange. When I look at it, I see orange. When other people look at it, they see red. So I say, what colour is that? They say red, and I go, well, it's orange. It's a weird one, that. Right.
So, Paul, on your video, you doing anything different or same plans?
You know what? I've not got a clue at the minute. Yeah, down here, celebrate box of celebrations here.
Can I ask why you're changing tanks? Is it that you're bored of it, or is there something wrong with the tank?
I don't like the red seat. I don't like the weir. I don't like the sump layout. I want it a little bit like the width wise. I want it about half. I wanted it about half a foot less in length, just for the where it is in my living room. It'll look better. Because at the minute, this takes like too much. Like where it's placed, my house isn't big, so where it's placed, it's basically pushing my sofa too far into the living room, which is not a good thing. But I've got 500. Look at my dog. Wait and say hello to everyone. She's I've got like store credit, like 500. I've got like £500 store credit at the LFS, so I was going to buy an acrylic sump from TMC with like Tropic Marine, but they don't seem to have any in stock anywhere in the country, and they're not even going to have any in the country till about New Year, which has put a bit of a dampener on it. You just got a box of chocolates, munching on a box of chocolates. Can I make me a cup of coffee? It's all right. I'm your dad. I've paid for you to grow up. I could have sold you to somewhere.
Sold you, left you on the side of the road.
Yeah. Just think how many the size of the fish tank I could have had if I never like paid for her to live. Hello, I'm a sugar, yeah. Oh, me and Gao are getting frag tanks. Nice little custom built frag tanks.
What is one white creamer?
Cream? Oh, we don't use cream. We're from England. We use milk.
Gago said I'll have one white and one sugar.
One white and one sugar. I'd say that's the thing is if you ask for a brew over here, it's tea or coffee. So you got to say which one you want. So if someone says, "Oh, make us a brew," they'll go, "What do you want, tea or coffee?" Yeah. Well, I just have coffee. I love coffee.
So yeah, milk and sugar.
Yeah, milk and sugar. Just got an SW4. Those suckers are tiny, way smaller than the RW4. I thought it's the SW2 that's smaller, and the SW4 is the same. Is it?
The SW, they're smaller in size.
Right. Look exactly the same, but smaller.
Yeah, they're a little more compact.
Right.
I'm with Haley. Coffee black, one sweetener.
Right. Coffee. I can have coffee black with sweetener, right? But if it's white, I've got to have sugar. Do you know what I mean? But I don't like sugar. I don't like sweeteners with milk. It's disgusting. Earl Grey, you have no. No. You only have Earl Grey when it's black. They are way smaller. Look like an RW2. They never did an RW2. Smallest one they did was an RW4. They never did an RW2. When they brought the SWs out, then they did a smaller version, which is the SW2 in it. There is an SW2, isn't there? I think there is.
I don't know. They change models more than they change drawers. So
If they do a smaller one than the RW4, Gal, that's what I mean. You really could do with for these frag tanks. Because if it's a nice small one, a nice pulsation with one of them little pumps. So I really need a small power head. I want to say small. The frag tanks are, what, 300 mil in length?
look at the Aquamai KPS.
Right, hang on, let me Google that. Right, so
AKAMAI.
AKAMAI.
KPS is the model.
KPS.
That's what my cousin has in his little like 13 and a half Evo.
Wow, how expensive for them?
They're $100
For a tiny little pump.
It moves some water though, and it's DC.
It's Idor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. It's owned by Hydor.
Does it have that clicking noise? Because the Idor pumps have a clicking noise and it winds me up.
Yeah, he said he loves his. He hadn't had any problems with it, so I'd have to ask him beyond that. Yeah, it's teeny tiny, Haley, but it pushes some water. I mean, look at it. It's got the rating on there. What's it rated at?
I was just messaging that guy again. Let's have a look.
I'll look at it while you do that.
Oh, I've messaged him.
It's Wi-Fi controlled.
The thing is, it might be worth investing in one of them because it's only going to be a small little frag tank, and obviously it's going to be for SPS. So really, you want the best in there to keep them.
It moves 370 to 1,050 gallons an hour, so 4,000 liters an hour on the high end, and it's little bitty and it's Wi-Fi controlled.
Do you know what? It might even be too powerful for that, even though it's so small.
The small side would be what, around 1,200 liters an hour. It's rated for 10 to 50 gallon aquariums.
Yeah, that's going to be too powerful. So I need something even less than that.
5 centimeters, 2 feet. You ever seen the little 13 and a half Evo tanks?
No.
Look at a Fluval Evo 13 and a half. And that's what he's got it in. And it's not too powerful for his Evo.
13 and a half, say, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. I think what it is with this, that's got more height in it, do you know, than the frag tank we've got. Do you know what? It won't surprise me if it was about the same length as it. But, in fact, what's the length of that? Let me get the things of that.
It's probably shorter than what you have because I think it's less than 2 feet. It's like 1.5 feet. So 30 centimeters. Yeah, so it's close.
Yeah. So that's 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same length as the one we've got, but ours is, I think it's only like 200 mil high.
Yeah, that's about what that is.
Might be the same then. Oh, it's 400. So Gal said it's 400 in length. But Gal, I think you've got to take the back section off because it's like an all-in-one frag tank. So the back bit's not part of the display where the power head's going to be in. I'm just going to copy you off, fella. You're a real. I'm just going to copy you, fella. You're a real reefer. Haley, it's proper Reef for go-go. That's the one, Haley. 400. That's got pumps in. That's cracking got pumps in. Well, there you go. That's cracking. Don't know. What we'll do, as soon as these frag tanks come, I'll go on the live stream and we'll ask people, go, what they recommend we should be using in them. Where's my brew? You said you're making me a coffee. Everyone, I've got all the witnesses on here. No, go on. All the witnesses. You said you make me a brew. Make me a brew. Right. No, I'm not. So the chat. I said on here, I'm not going to pay your phone bill if you don't make me a brew. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. I shouldn't have to make it. Yeah, I pay your phone bill. I pay your phone bill. Does the missus know I've got a tank coming? Yeah, she does. She doesn't know I've got a frag tank coming. That's a good thing. Surprise her when it goes upstairs. What do I want for Christmas? Oh, my daughter just asked me what I want for Christmas. I'll think about it and get back to you. So there we go, my daughter's. I'll get me something for Christmas. Right, everyone. I'll call it a night anyway. Because it's gone really quiet. Hello, Tina. Again, thanks everyone for coming. It's always nice to have a. I know it's quieting down now, 20 viewers. We was knocking on 40 before, which is also good. Seems that I've not been on for ages and ages, which is. Put it back in there. Do not give the dog chocolate. Do not, right? Do not, no. In the cupboard. Them white things in the cupboard.
That's chocolate.
No, it's not.
Is it?
No, it's not. You're not supposed to give the cocoa to the dog. It's not good for him.
Chocolate.
It'll make him sick.
You know, she doesn't listen. She just constantly gives chocolate. And my dog's allergic to everything. Do you know what I mean? In fact, before I go, right, I'll give you a rundown, right? So I wanted a sump from the shop. It was an acrylic sump. It was £350. I've got store credit in the shop. I've got £500 store credit in the shop. But this store credit keeps building up because I'm not buying anything because I don't want anything, and I give them. I sort them out with friends and stuff. So I wanted that sump, but like I said, they're not going to have them in. So that's put a dampener on it now. So I don't know if I'm going to have a glass sump, but I wanted that clear filter. Have you seen the clear filter? The one that goes straight to the filter sock. Goes straight into the filter sock. Looks really, really good. But
Oh yeah, the Clarity roller.
Clear filter, it's called. Not the Clarity, the clear filter. Basically, just goes straight into the filter sock. You know, like you've got the hole for the filter sock.
Yeah.
It just drops straight into that. So it goes into there, and when you change it, it just rocks back. Change it.
Yeah. KLIR.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it.
So That's what I wanted. In fact, Woody has got the sump, but the smaller version of the one that I was going to get. And he's got one of them coming over. So that's what I wanted to do. But because they can't get them in, it's changed all my mind now. Now I don't know whether just to get a proper sump, like a glass sump or something, and use the Claricy. Is it Claricy? Is that what it's called? The D&D.
Yeah, there's Claricy. There's Clear, KLIR.
The Claricy one. I don't know how to just get that one now and do it that way. Because that you can just put in the sump and get on, can't you? Hello, Dave. So I was going to do that, and then I was going to have like a massive refugium in there, but with no skimmer. It cleans for the filter sort, or the clear thing, because the micro, it's only 50 micron, isn't it? So it's going to take all the crap out. Even your skimmers are going to even struggle trying to clean stuff, you know, because that much is getting caught in that. And the rest that does go through, it's going to feed your chair on. And on there, I would have had a small canister of carbon and GFO running. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Reefing on a budget. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, but I've got this store credit, so if I don't get the sump, I've got more stuff that I can get with the store credit. Like I say, I'll get the clear filter with it because they do D&D in that store. So I'll be able to get the clear filter. The Claricy. I think it's called Claricy. I don't know.
Yeah, the Claricy is the big filter roller.
Yeah, that one.
The Clear is the little one that fits in a filter sock holder.
Yeah. But it's only a standard size that it fits in it. But it's got to tumble over, basically like, do you know, like the Red Sea, where it tumbles over first and it goes in? That's what it's got to be. It's got to be that type of sump you have.
Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't fit in the Red Sea because the Red Sea's a dinger.
No, it fits a 4-inch.
It fits in the Red Sea.
Yeah, make one that fits the 4, and then make one that fits the 7.
Right. So I thought the Red Seas are just off the size because they've got that lip, what the clipping. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't fit a standard filter sock in a Red Sea.
Oh, maybe it wouldn't fit then.
That's what I'm saying. You might have to shave it down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to shave it down, it's got to be perfectly round. Otherwise, the water's going to go through.
Yeah, well, that's my issue. So the little hole I cut for my filter media cup isn't perfect, and it goes through. So I ordered a adapter that's supposed to make it for a bigger holder, and hopefully it'll work. And if not, I'll have to order like some silicone gasket, food grade silicone gasket. And I'll just cut a square of it and cut the hole out to fit. Trace it and cut the hole out to fit.
Yeah.
Where it'll create a seal.
See, there's that. Oh, I'll tell you what I did. I bought the D&D net, you know, for the tank.
Mm-hmm.
This D&D net here. These are absolutely brilliant. You know, compared to the other ones. Well, people have never been keen on nets, do you know, on the tank. But this one is solid. Do you know, like really solid. And it's even got the lip. Do you know, on here? If you can see the people. It's even got the lip where it just sits on the tank flush.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's brilliant. If you've got a Red Sea tank, by the way, instead of going round the box, you know, the weigh box, because the weigh box is raised, so you can't have this flush, you know, on the weigh box at the back. So what they've done, they've made a cutout so you can go around the weigh. They made a cutout so you can go around the weigh box. But what I've noticed, it has a lip. Do you know, on the top of the weigh box top, it has a lip. You cut the lip off, it sits flush. And then the net just fits nice with that on the top of it. But that, I think, is brilliant. The net, and they're not expensive. I think it was like £36. Who makes the clear? Clear. Is it clear?
KLIR, Clear.
Yeah, clear. Who makes
And
it
then
over
there's
there?
a Clarity filter roller also. Clear is here. You
Yeah.
can get the clear filters here.
Who makes them? The people that make the sumps. What they're called? I'm gonna tell you now.
Triton.
No, it's Coral View. Clear filter. It's Coral View. I'm gonna put the link in. So the link is there. That's the link for it. But that's the one I wanted because, like, I wanted the Coral View sump is virtually TMC over here. So whenever they do something over there, TMC does it over here. Tropic Marine does it over here. So like it's the same company in a way. But they've got on in stock. And when I rang up the company, they said they was doing a design change on it, on the sump. So, and they wasn't happy with the design change when it came back. So it's been sent off for another design change. And until it's done, they're not going to be in stock. So, and I can't wait. So that. Just one of the weekends. I use carbon when I feel guilty about lack of maintenance. Do you know what, Dave? That's exactly what I do. If I've not done any maintenance or anything, I get out some carbon and stick it in. Why can you not wait? Because the reason I can't wait, because when I get the tank, I'm going to have a tank here, and then I've got nowhere to put it. So I want everything here, and then within 24 hours, the new tank's going to be full of corals, full of fish. That's how I'm going to roll. That's the way I roll. Because I'm using all the same rock. That I'm going to, like I said, I'll use the same rock. I'll use the same media that I've got underneath it. I'm going to stick all the Chato in it. Do you know what I mean? Basically, it's going to be like a massive water change with a different display, which I did with this one. It's like, if everyone knows, I changed this tank in, was it January? January, yeah. I changed this tank in January because the other one failed. So I switched it all over in, 6 hours? So in 6 hours, the full thing was changed over, everything back in. Basically, in fresh water. Just big water. I kept about 10% of the water. The rest was just fresh water. Like I say, corals don't care about the water quality. Right? You can stick corals in fresh water, they're happy. It's fish that get pissed off with it. Get acrylic. Gal. The only way I can afford to get this sump is through the LFS. And the LFS only have contract or accounts with certain people. And the only place I can get a sump from is TMC from them. And that's the only reason why. Trust me, there's about 50 places I can get sumps from, but you've got to pay. But because I've got the store credit, that's what I wanted to use, if you know what I mean. So that's how it rolls. But instead, I'll just get like the glass tank and I'll just get that Clarity filter. Right, I'm going to shoot. And I'll tell my dog off the rug. Off the rug. She keeps lying on the rug, she's not allowed on the rug. Sell your store credit. Go. Do you want to buy store credit? I'm not. No, I'll keep it. I'll keep your store credit. Good. How are you, Paul? I'm good, Dev. You? Hope you're all well. I've not been on YouTube in ages. I'll flick through it, have a look, and then. But in a way, I fell out of love with YouTube. Stupid, because I like talking to people, not myself. Trust me, if you went here, Jeeves, it'd be well gone by now. First stream I was on in a while, yeah. I pay more on Amazon sometimes because I have credit. That's the thing. The thing is, I've got credit in an LFS. It'll be stupid of me just to use the credit on stuff I don't need. You know what I mean? So that's why the credit's there. But like I said, I can get a filter roller. Or I'm going to get the filter roller from there. When I change the tank over, I'll get new live sand because I always change sands. I never use the same sand ever. And like I say, I'll be able to get salt and all other bits and bats that I need. And when I start this up, it's just going to use Fritz. I'm going to use Fritz salt, Fritz bacteria, and everything. Get it all kicked in with Fritz. Credit is nice. But I wanted that sump. Even like they said, the LFS said they'll pick it up, but when I found out that they don't have any, I rang the main company themselves and said there's none there. I got some TurboStack 900 I'm using for the upgrade. Yep. I'm going to use TurboStack 900 and Fritz 9. I'll use some of that now. See, TurboStar's the more potent one, but 9 is less, so I'd rather use that one and a bit of that one. I'll do it that way. I have heard good things. Triton still, always use Triton. Triton's never going to go off it. That's it, Reef dudes. It's not that the LFS don't want to get it; they can't get it because they've stopped making them at the minute because they're doing an upgrade, so you can't even buy them. But they don't know when it's going to be finished to bring them out. They've got no set date. They did say Christmas, but then I said, "Are you sure?" They said no. They told us that 2 months ago. Do you know what I mean? 2 months ago they were supposed to have them, then they were supposed to have them again this month, then next month, and they just keep putting it off. Concentrated super duper bacteria. Yeah, Dev, just make sure you put it when you get it, or if you're not online or you're getting it posted, put it straight into the fridge. It needs to be refrigerated. Go. I'm not waiting. No. Oh, I'll tell you what I did do. While I was waiting for the tank, you know, I used to have the black Red Sea Reefer. I wrapped it up. It's been wrapped. It's white. The doors are actually open. It's not because the doors are conky. But I wrapped it, but it stayed black inside. What's that? Ooh. Look at that. Black inside. I'm winding up. Okay. Wrapped in vinyl. There you go. That's just because the missus don't like black. Because everything else is now white, and that was black, and she hated it. I'm ordering from Chance Around. How do you mean? Matchy. It is because when the missus got that there, and then we got the white Wi-Fi, and that's white. So everything's got white. Like I said, the TV stand used to be black, so all changed. That's it. Like I said, that's just temporary. Because the new tank is going to be white. So the boards are on the stands, open top left. Good. Right. Anyway, I'm going to go.
Hopping off.
Say that again, mate.
I said you hopping off.
Yeah. So what's the detail? Oh, I've got to tell Dad the details on the new tank. So every time I want to go, other things pop up. Right. So, it's going to be smaller. The length's going to be smaller, and everyone's going, "Why are you going smaller?" It's not. I'm not going smaller. The volume's going to be more, so it's going to be bigger. It's just the length's going to be smaller, just to make the wife happy. Do you know what I mean? That's all it's for. But it's going to be higher and it's going to be wider, and the sump's going to be bigger. So I'm going to have a lot more water volume. It's not a cube. It's going to be 3.5 foot by like 2 foot by 2 foot something. So something like that. In fact, let me get the details.
Like 110 gallons, 105 gallons.
I think it works out with the. I think it was about 112. I think it works out at.
Yeah.
So as people have said, a 120 because that's how they do it, isn't it? It's like
no, 120 is 4x2x2.
4x2x2.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. Well, this one though, it's two just over 2 foot the other way, so it could be.
Right. So it's a 90 stretched because a 90 is 3x2x2.
Yeah, this is 3.5 by 2 by 2 and something.
Yeah, so it's right in between the 90 and the 120.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's 112. I think it works out at. Aren't you meant to be live? Jeff? Hang on a minute. What day is it? What time is it? 11 o'clock. Like, it goes 11 o'clock. You'll be live at 11, won't he? Might find a corner. Yeah. 11 o'clock then. Clocks went back Sunday, didn't they? Gonna go over some of the tank updates, sneak peek of the new build so far. You see me, I've got to a point, it's like I got to a point where the corals in my tank was overtaking, and people might go, well, that's not a bad thing. It was a bad thing because it was growing into other corals, so I'm constantly snapping frags off now. It's not bad for the LFS because they're getting them all. You know, like people are getting cheap frags online. But right, I'm going to jump off.
Later, Paul.
Right, cheers, Jeeves, jumping on. Right, everyone, cheers for jumping on. I'll see you all again soon. I'll try to do proper updates if I can be bothered, but I really can't. But 11 o'clock, Dev's going live, so everyone jump on Dev's in 25 minutes. Dev, if I'm still awake, I'll jump on, which I most probably will be. Eyes are dropping a bit, but yeah. So everyone jump on Dev's stream in 25 minutes, and I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers for coming. Thank you. See you later.
Later, bud.